Hello, my name is Cindy and thank you for coming to my channel. This video is going to be all about the start of my garden of 2022. I am a very novice gardener and I have tried through the years to have a good garden and it just hasn't worked out. The last couple years I've been inspired by some friends and some great videos that I've watched on YouTube. And so last year I actually had a pretty successful year, and you can watch my videos and see how it went. So if you have not been to my channel before, I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos about my garden journey. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to tell you a few things that helped me as a very beginning gardener. I was not really that excited about gardening. It just seemed really difficult to me. But then I'm like, if they can do it, so can I, right? And so what I did is I followed some recommendations from some friends. First of all, I got heirloom seeds. So I bought seeds online and they were heirloom seeds and they were special seeds that are supposed to work really well. So I figured that would be a really good first step. And then I did plant those at home with some store-bought potting soil mix, and I put them in a window 4 to 5 weeks before the planting time is good where I live. Now, where I live, the planting time is Memorial Day, and that is the day that it's pretty much safe to plant. And I've seen through the years if people try to plant outside too soon, it ruins their plants, and you want to get in there as soon as possible. So Memorial Day is a great day for planting. So you want to gauge your seeds indoors according to that time. Some of the plants that were successful for me were tomato plants, also cucumbers. I loved growing cucumbers. Zucchini. I did a little bit of summer squash, and I loved growing lettuce and kale. I did have a few pepper plants, but they didn't grow real well, and I'm planning on doing a few of those. I learned that they take longer to actually ripen. And so those might be your later plants. I was really surprised at how fast the cucumber plants grow and how abundant the tomato plants can be. So first of all, start with really good seeds. Second of all, you kind of have to buy some soil one way or the other, unless you're really good at making your own soil that has nutrients in it. My soil is really packed down, and it was really, I just think the soil wasn't giving my plants a very good chance. So that's what you want to do. And what I also did was I mixed my potting mix and my garden mix, whatever I got for soil, I mix it with some peat moss and some kind of organic material, as well as I put straw on the top to kind of hold in the moisture, and that worked really well. So that is my plan for this year as well. I am going from container gardening to some raised beds, and I'm going to show you a little video of where I am so far. What I did with last year's soil was I put it all in a pile, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to kind of sift it through, and I'm going to use that with as kind of a bottom layer to my raised beds. A friend of mine gave me the tip to go to the dollar store, or the $1.25 store now, and get one of those like trash buckets that looks like a screen, and you can screen your soil with that, and that will help so that your plants have free reign in the soil to go through, and get a really good base. So that's what I'm planning to do, is to screen through my soil, make sure that the soil is good, make sure you have a good fertilizer, and then straw on top. I have seen some videos where you put all of the dirt in your raised bed, and then you can put either cardboard or some kind of like paper, brown paper over the top, and that will keep the soil like working. I don't know. That's also a consideration. Or just put straw on top to keep the moisture in. That might work too. So my idea last year was, don't plant too much. Just pick a few things that you really want to be successful with. Don't try to plant a little bit of everything, but pick a few different plants. Like for me, it was tomatoes and cucumbers and lettuce. So I had a really great garden. I did plant some beans. So this year, I'm going to plant all of those things, and I'm also going to work on a trellis. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to do that because I don't want to make it to like shade over my plants. So I want it to be over a space where there aren't any plants, and I want the plants to kind of grow up the trellis. And I also want to make the trellis out of sticks and vines that I already have in my yard. I don't want to go out and buy a metal trellis. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to see how it works. So the rest of the video you can watch where I am at the beginning of my garden season 2022. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Beefsteak tomatoes. Let's see, zucchini. Nothing yet. Let's see. Sunflowers. I love sunflowers. Okay, the tomatoes I planted a little bit later. I have beefsteak. I have yellow tomatoes. I have, oh, there are some yellow tomatoes in there. Oh, there they are. And I have some cherry tomatoes. All right, cherry tomatoes, yay. Okay, I like cherry tomatoes to eat, but we really need the big ones for canning or storing. So here we have cabbage. I've never grown cabbage before, but cabbage is a great thing that lasts a long time. Thinking I need to grow as many cabbages as I can. And up here I have some more tomatoes. I'm growing tomatoes, zucchini, cucumbers, different varieties of tomatoes, and flowers. I want to see more flowers this year. Last year I really didn't plant flowers. And this is my window. And last year I had a very good successful time planting in this window. What I did for my setup was I went to the dollar store. I got these tins, were 2 for $1, and each package of these cups was well, everything's $1.25 now. And so that has been good. We also have some succulents. A friend of mine gave me these, and I'm so glad to have a couple of aloe plants. Here I have some celery growing out of a piece of celery. So this is another great way to propagate your food, is to just take the food scraps that you have and see what grows out of it. Every time I watch the news, I get a little more, stressed out. So well, I don't really watch the news. I just watch what people post about the news. And I figure plant some new stuff. So here I have giant Nobel spinach. Spinach usually grows pretty well. I don't know how to store spinach though. And I planted a little bit of kale. So what I did is I planted it in this little container, and when it comes up, then I'll separate it into cups. And I saved a lot of these milk jugs over the winter, and I just saved them and made little planters out of them. And I could do more with that as well. This is organic zucchini. I don't think you can ever have too much zucchini or tomatoes. I plan to put carrots out when it's time. Now, where I live in New Hampshire, the magic day for planting outside is May, the end of May, which is usually Veterans Day, right? Veterans Day, yeah. So we usually plant, and here we go. These are my planters that I got. So this is what it looks like outside. I dumped out all of my used potting soil and put it in a pile, and what I'm going to do is mix that or use it maybe as a base in my planters. I also dug up my hostas over here and I replanted them because they were just kind of not growing evenly. So those are coming up pretty good. I saw a great video on how to separate the hostas, and they're very hardy and they do well to survive that ordeal. I also have these blue bonnet flowers. These remind me of my grandmother. They came out of her garden, and I don't mind if they completely fill in this entire area because I just love them. I have a rose bush. I cut that one down and it's growing up again very well. I have these also were my grandmother's, the irises. Now the best time to plant for us is Memorial Day, the end of May. And if you try to plant too soon, you never know what the weather's going to be like. These are my planters that I got from Amazon. I was going to do wood, but I saw these pretty good price and I figured it was something I could do. I'm planning on making an arch. I'm planning on using this pool again, and there's my window. So it's all kind of together. The reason I chose my front yard was because this is where the sun is. And I always tried to put my garden in the backyard, and it just wasn't working. It wasn't growing. It was always something that was a problem. And then I realized my plants need more sun, so I changed it, switched it up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.